Hi, this is Jack Stanley, and I wanted to talk about time travel. Now, of course, today there is no such thing as time travel, but it has been the premise of many a television show, a novel, a movie, H.G. Wells, Time Machine, etc. And take a look at all the various television shows and movies of the past in which time travel played a very, very pertinent part. Will there be such a thing as time travel? I believe there will be in time. I am sure it will be invented. It's not going to be in my lifetime or yours or probably many of those after us. It'll be well into the future. Invented by man or whatever man has morphed into, maybe into a different species altogether. But can you imagine if time travel does indeed become a reality? It's going to present a series of issues and problems that most people will not be thinking about. The first thing you'd have to do if time travel became something that people could partake in, you would have a Congress of time travel. And would have to be a constitution of traveling in time. That there had to be certain amendments and rules to be very carefully followed. Because time, if it is touched, and if we enter time and are allowed to interact with it, time will be changing every time. And what could be really frightening is if by your time there could affect your existence now, you'd vanish. You'd be gone. So the rules would have to be very, very strict, that an adherence had to be followed, that time could be observed but never changed. And perhaps the device in which we would use would be somewhat like, maybe we'd even be like a screen or a 3D screen around us, and we would be like a submersible in the ocean and observing the aquatic world around us, but not able to interact with it. I think that would be what it would have to be. Now, of course, as you well know, there will be some rogues. There will be those that'll wish to buck the system, and those that'll wish to say, I am going to stop this murder or that murder, or I'm going to go shoot Hitler now, or I'm going to go to Dealey Plaza and divert Kennedy, or move Kennedy out of the way, or save Lincoln, or all the various other things that could be said in the great past or the near future, or to alert Pearl Harbor, to alert Hiroshima, to alert various times. And you know something? There will be people that will try to do that, to buck the system. So I'm just talking about this crazy stuff here, although I believe it will happen. And maybe once it is understood, maybe there is a faint image that is visible very faintly. Maybe it's just a small little orb or whatever. Maybe that's it. And maybe in the future, it will be known how to do it. And that the past has been immersed with ideas of ghosts and spirits and this and that and many other things that we don't quite understand might be the result of time travel. So, interesting things to think of. And I wouldn't mind to do so myself. In fact, if this film exists, come and visit me, or you can't tell me you're visiting me because I won't know it. And maybe I have said this and this exists and you're observing now. Who knows? But nonetheless, remember, time travel, if it is invented, which I think it will be, there will have to be a lot of control. There'll be time police. There'll be all kinds of things. Think about that. All the stuff that would have to go in coordination with time travel. Because it's a very, very delicate and important issue. One last thing to mention before I close here. The problem with time travel will be this. Our history to us is often one-dimensional. We don't look at our historic figures or moments or movements truly as they were. If we have the opportunity to observe and see, perhaps our feelings, our likes, our wants will be totally changed historically. And maybe we won't favor this revolution or this fight or this individual because they will be so different than how we envisioned them. So pros and cons, various parts of time travel, which will happen someday. And some lucky people will observe things that we can only dream of.